Hello, my little YouTuber rights, and welcome to this, the third of my two-part series of documentaries about Adamant's bad decisions and the bad gigs he's had. And this one should be an easy one. That reminds me of the time I was going to do the BBC's Morecambe and Wise Show, but I did Cannon and Ball instead, because they were funnier and were a lot more popular at the time. The other videos I had to do were a lot of research. They took a lot of time, so this is nice to have a simple... excuse me. Yeah? What? Oh, thank you. Oh, that was Adamant's arch rival, Mr. Aardvark. Apparently, Adam was never booked to do the Morecambe and Wise show. Apparently, Morecambe and Wise were not on the BBC. And I mean, were Cannon and Ball really funnier? And I've been told it'd be worth my while to check if Cannon and Ball really were more popular at the time. Oh, Mr. Aardvark, this is going to take so much time, so much research now. Oh, oh, come here, you dirty little rat. Roll pets. That isn't even close to being true. Morecambe and Wise defected to ITV 5 years before Adamant went onto the Cannon and Ball show. That is just not true. It's not true. At the time he accepted the Cannon and Ball show, the Morecambe and Wise show was not even in pre-production. There was no way he could have had an offer to go and do Morecambe and Wise. But also, they were not in competition with each other. I mean, they were on the same channel, they were on different days of the week and at completely different times of the year. And being on one of the shows was never a block to being on the other show. You'll see some of the acts are on both shows, sometimes just a few months apart. Adamant claimed the show had 15 million and Cannon and Ball said 20 million, sometimes they said 18 million viewers. But I think that's kind of like my radio show, that the station will tell me I've got 500,000 listeners. Yet strangely, I've never met anyone who's actually listened to my radio show. Not even my mother. Well, I mean, I have met my mother. That's not, yeah. Once, I met her once. Yeah, it was at the birth. Yeah. It was a difficult birth. I had to know the real numbers. Barb, the TV viewing data people, suggested I pay a company to look for me, so I did, and it cost me £100. They looked and they came back to tell me they couldn't find anything. Wow. These are the numbers for the Morecambe and Wise show that year. So £100 down, I had to go and do the research myself. It's kind of ridiculous to suggest that Cannon and Ball got 20 million viewers in the 80s. Here are the top 10 rated shows for each year in the 80s. Not only are Cannon and Ball not on the list, but the list proves that they had to have far less than 20 million viewers. The 4 May shows had less than 11.4 million. At least one of the May shows is below 9.9 million. I would guess they're all kind of around 9.5 million. 5th of June was below 10 million. I only know one, but I know the actual number for one of the shows, and it was the last episode of the series, which was 10.6 million. You can see from those numbers that Morecambe and Wise, even in the twilight of their career, in their inferior ITV guise, had the more popular show. What is more shocking is that Cannon and Ball show went out prime time on a Saturday night, whereas Morecambe and Wise went out on a Wednesday night. They met in 1940 when Eric was 12 and Ernie 13 as solo acts in the Jack Hilton revue show Youth Takes a Bow. I suppose nowadays that show would be called Youth Takes a Car. It was while touring as solo acts that Eric Morecambe's mum, Sadie, had the suggestion, seeing how well they played off each other, that they actually got together as a double act. That lasted from 1941 until Morecambe's death. Their first starring TV show was poorly received, and among the bad reviews was one that Eric Morecambe carried a copy of with him for the rest of his life. Definition of the week: TV set. The box in which they buried Morecambe and Wise. Kenneth Bailey, The People. It was 5 years until Phoenix-like From the Flames, they landed another starring TV show which ran and ran, changing from channel to channel between the three channels. In their heyday on BBC One, until 1977, they were joined by scriptwriter Eddie Braben. They were known as the Golden Triangle, who created one of the UK's all-time favourite comedy acts. They had catchphrases that reoccurred like motifs throughout their career. Ernie's short, fat, hairy legs. Ernie's supposed wig, T-Ern. That's easy for you to say, or you can say that again. You said that without moving your lips. And if you ever wondered why Eric shouted Arsenal anytime someone coughed or sneezed, it was a callback to a sketch where Eric played an incompetent Mr. Memory.
Mr. Memory, I understand that you have a brain capable of remembering every event that ever happened anywhere and any time in the world.
That is correct.
Question number one, Mr. Memory, could you please tell me who won the FA Cup in 1950?
FA Cup 1950.
Yes. Arsenal! Tranmere Rovers!
Their treatment of the guests was terrible, but for effect. One or both would not recognise the famous guest. Eric and sometimes Ernie would call the guest by the wrong name.
Eric, say hello to Mr. Preview.
Hello, Bungo!
Come around, Hilton.
Have you met Hoagie? Vanilla, how are you?
Vanessa.
Oh, tastes like vanilla.
If they appeared uncooperative, Eric would grab a guest by the lapel and pull them to his face in a threatening manner. He had Eric's empty paper bag trick.
That's all it is. You throw that in the air. Oh, God, I missed that one. You throw that in the air and you just catch it like that.
Behind the curtains with his hands around his throat gag. And so much more. Many of their catchphrases have entered the language.
What do you think of it so far? Rubbish!
Morecambe and Wise grew up together, joked together, and formed an instinctive comic timing together. They learnt their craft. They made mistakes. They found what works and doesn't work as they played the clubs and the theatres for over 20 years before being seen on TV for the first time. They were friends first and foremost. You can see the respect, or the love even they have for each other, is why we feel like they are our friends. Their trust in each other made their performances flow effortlessly. They were so relaxed together on stage, so funny, that everyone just felt safe in their company. They were brilliant because they appealed to everybody. All walks of life. Men, women, young, old. Everybody found them funny, and that's very hard, impossible to do. But they made it all seem effortless. Eric Morecambe's first heart attack was in 1968, and then again in 1979, and then fatally in 1984. While the ride lasted, they were the kings of UK TV comedy.
What do you think of it so far? Rubbish!
They started out as singers working the pubs and the clubs of Greater Manchester and switched to comedy after being told comics earned an extra £3 a night. And maybe if you see them live and they don't make you laugh, you can ask them for a £3 refund. In recent years, they've admitted that during their heyday of huge popularity in the 1980s, they spent years not even talking to each other, and they would avoid each other completely when not on stage. After their TV show ended, they have continued to work with each other and do so to this day. The happy news is that they are now on very good terms, which seems to have come about from Bobby Ball finding Jesus and Tommy Cannon doing so 7 years later. Seeing them more recently as guests on TV shows like Loose Women, and they appear comfortable working together. They appear to enjoy working together. They kind of look relaxed, they seem funny, and they seem just to be in a better place than they were in the 80s. Maybe I should try this born-again Christian thing. Because I never feel relaxed, I never feel comfortable when I'm around loose women. In most scenes, Bobby Ball gets angry, he gets aggressive, he wants to headbutt someone, and he asks Tommy to hold him back. He's angry, and then within a few seconds, he's then crying. For some reason, for next to no reason. I mean, there's just no truth to it. It's almost like they watched Laurel and Hardy and they missed the point. They also don't seem to have any beats. There's no silence, there's no stillness. It's just kind of from the beginning of the scene, it's just one big load of cannon and ball of energy until thankfully we've got to the end of the scene. It's almost like they're afraid they'll lose the audience if they stop to breathe. But without the moments, there's no depth. There's no play. It's just artless noise. There is definitely an airplane sketch that I thought was very good.
We reached our cruising height, 33,000 feet.
Come on, I mean that is just so silly, it's funny. The scene is largely silent, which I think maybe it's the words that got in the way of them being funny. I feel like I may have a look at their work in a future video to reassess how funny and Cannonball really were, as I may surprise myself and find they're actually rather good, because the airplane sketch is rather good. Who was funnier? Now it's just such a subjective question. So I can't really answer it for you. I mean, it's Morecambe and Wise. It is Morecambe and Wise. The most illustrious and the best loved double act that Britain has ever produced. The Morecambe and Wise Show came 14th in the BFI's 100 Greatest British Television Programmes. In 2006, the general public voted them into second place in a poll of the 50 greatest TV stars. The best I can come up with is this. Bobby Ball, he got voted off 6th from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And they both came second in reality TV show Celebrity Coach Trip. Their TV shows won 8 BAFTAs. They got nominated for 4 more, and they also won 4 TV Writers Awards, and they got a special BAFTA fellowship. 0 TV Writers Awards, 0 BAFTAs, and 0 nominations. Turns out, I've been in more BAFTA-nominated TV shows than Cannon and Ball. Ooh, who knew? Their TV show, which ran for about 12 years, including the sitcom afterwards, never had numbers as high as Morecambe and Wise, and they were never anywhere near the top 25 most popular TV shows in the history of television. Though, they did come third in the top 10 shows people most like to switch over to another channel from. Yeah. Test Card came 4th. I gave myself 60 seconds to write down as many classic Morecambe and Wise sketches as I could. Try this yourself. So if you want to try it yourself, pause the video and give yourself 60 seconds. So pause the video. Okay, and unpause it now. Right, welcome back. This is the list I came up with. I had Andrew Previn, of course, Glenda Jackson, The Stripper, Breakfast Routine, Singing in the Rain, Elton John, Shirley Bassey, Angela Rippon, Mastermind. So I managed to get through that in 60 seconds. I was quite proud of how many I actually got. So then I tried the same thing with Cannon and Ball sketches. So I gave myself 60 seconds. Again, if you want to play along, do so. Just pause the video now. Okay, welcome back. I wasn't really paused. And this is the list that I came up with. Okay. I'm guessing that you did a lot better than me. I genuinely could not think of any. This is more than likely to be because Morecambe and Wise is still repeated every year and Cannon and Ball are not. So whoever is funniest is really up to you. I think it's kind of an unfair comparison. Morecambe and Wise, Cannon and Ball is like saying, you know, which is the funniest film? A Marx Brothers film or Ernest Goes to Jail? Not a fair comparison. So was the Cannon and Ball show racist? Now, there's very few clips of the show online. I'm actually coming from a place of ignorance, and when you're talking about racism, that's probably the best place to come from. I looked into this because the Mexican scene that the boys do before they bring on Adamant seemed, in this day and age, a little bit problematic. They seem to be a bit anti-Hispanic, or to be more inclusive, anti-Hispanic. And then I stumbled across this scene of the black cleaners on the Cannon and Ball show. I've only got the first minute of this, I can't find the rest of the scene, but within that minute you kind of get the idea. Let's have a look at these examples to see if the Cannon and Ball show was racist.
Just put weight on, aren't you? Shirley Bassey. Not Shirley Bassey, the Child Ladies Union. Who's going to clean up that mess? You're going to clean up that mess. We are very poor. All we eat is baked beans. My people believe this. Why? Because my people are stupid. But I am poorer than you. But I have nothing. I have less than that. My name is Pedro. My name is Pedro too. But it's the trouble in Mexico. What he called Pedro. I go to market yesterday. I say, see my cousin. I say, hey Pedro. I get trampled to death. See, I remember trampling on you.
But we're going to end this video now with Adamant's performances on the Cannon and Ball show.
He's on tonight, Tom.
What? Who?
He's on tonight.
Who's on?
We're going to make him very welcome, Tom. Make him welcome.
You're right. We don't want him walking on here looking conspicuous.
This is exactly why, until I saw some of the other scenes they have done, I thought Cannon and Ball were not a very good double act. This is awful writing. Twice, Bobby Ball says he's on tonight, and Tommy Cannon does not know who's on. And then the next second, without being told, he knows exactly who's on. That is awful writing.
You do me.
Yeah.
And I'll do you.
That's Bobby Ball saying a line that sounds like he's suggesting that they should have gay sex together. We'll come back to that in a minute.
First of all, where do you want it?
I'll give you one.
Right, please.
Now they're doing their innuendo lines at the same time. I think the energy and the fun that Bobby Ball especially, but both of them have in the scene, papers over the cracks. Fundamentally, there's a problem with this sketch. They both want to put the makeup on, they both want to do the sort of funny innuendo lines, rather than actually being a proper double act and actually working together and having different roles in the scene. But it would be a lot funnier if Bobby Ball had been set up by Tommy Cannon. That has a much more interesting dynamic about it than them both doing it.
Just one final dab. Marvellous. You look fantastic now.
And it's like I say, they kind of sort of diluted it by having them both doing it, which to me just smacks of kind of rushed writing, kind of hoping that Cannon and Ball will save it by their performance, which in a way they have done, because, you know, it is quite a fun performance, nice energy in it. But we're about to meet Adamant, so let's go meet him.
Do I look like?
Who?
Adamant?
No. You look more like Fred Cockroach.
That'll do, Tom. Get him on. Make him feel at home.
All
Get
right.
him on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adamant.
I'll stay for nothing.
What's up, Bob?
What do you think?
What is it? What's wrong?
You should see a doctor about that.
What do you think?
What's that mean?
I think it's too late for you.
What do you mean by that?
Hey! Come on, where's the paint then? Where's all the paint?
I don't always wear it. I only wear it when I think it's right.
Hey?
It's such a shame they haven't got a two-shot of Adamant and Bobby Ball, because I think their reaction shots and their silences and their looks are actually kind of what really good double acts have. Right now, I think that's a funnier scene than we've seen before, if we can actually see Bobby Ball's face. I think Adam's performance here is kind of nice, it's laid back, it's cool, it's funny. He rates this performance here as one of the biggest challenges of his career.
You mean to tell me you've come on here, Adamant, my hero, you come on here in a suit, come on, unbutton the jacket, smooth, sophisticated swag. Hey, me and him, spending hours painting ourselves up like two bloody idiots. Hey, you think it's funny? God, you made us look ridiculous. Stupid Adamant. People are watching me doing this. I don't know you know. Adam, up now. Adam, you've let me down, do you? No, don't cry. Because you're not painted up, I am. We're painted up now.
Look, you don't look ridiculous, right? Honestly.
What do you mean?
I do.
It suits you.
What do you mean?
It suits you, and all
Yeah? Does
all
it?
these lines, they mean something.
What do they mean? What do they mean?
Yeah.
What do
Right.
you mean?
This line here.
Yeah.
This means
Yeah.
great warrior.
Yeah.
Does it? 2 pints, you'll fight anybody.
And this across here
Yeah.
shows you're a great hunter.
Great hunter.
Great.
He's always hunting the crumpet, never gets it, but he's always...
And this one here.
Yeah.
This one here shows
Yeah.
wisdom.
Oh, thanks, Adam. Thanks. What about me?
What? How do I link?
No, what is it?
Nothing, no, he's waiting, he's waiting. What? What?
Don't like to worry you, but
What?
you're 6 months pregnant.
You're making me pregnant! Come on, Adam. Come on. He's frightened to death. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, Adam. All right.
Oh, Adam, tell you what, you do your song. You do your song.
He was lucky that I could have killed him if I'd have started. He
Stupid.
got away with murder then.
Get away with murder. Ladies and gentlemen,
Adamant!
Okay, so if you want to actually listen to this performance, there will be a link in the first comment below this video. For copyright reasons, I'm not going to put this actual track onto the video. I think Adamant held up very, very well in the scene with Cannonball, especially when you see other music acts like Status Quo and their performances against Cannonball. What you'll notice here, this is a bonus fact. If Adamant hadn't gone on the show, we would not have had the album or the single cover for Friend or Foe, because that is where they took the photographs for the album and for the single release of Friend or Foe.
It's a Sunday, man.
I'm Juan.
That's funny, Tommy's wanted.
no! You're one.
Not one.
I'm Juan.
We noticed that the way you walked on like that. Your pants are ripped. What?
I'm Juan. Carlos, Gonzalez, Miguel, Pedro, Rodriguez, Marco, Tino, Francesco, Pironio, Ordines, Cananelli, Balos, Sanchez, Valdez, Santana, Balbert, Smith.
Smith? Well, listen here. Balbert, Rodriguez, Malabert.
No, it's Rodriguez, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, Rodriguez. My neck's gone. Look at my neck.
They call me El Grande. I have come to deliver you.
It's the paper lad. He's come to deliver the papers. Hey, an express. You owe me an express. You didn't give me last week and I paid you.
To deliver you from suffering and starvation.
Hey, it's Antonio Bino.
No.
If you do watch the earlier part of the scene, which is Cannonball in it, you'll know that Adamant has got the Mexican accent down a lot better than they did. It's also very impressive he managed to remember the name, that long name, and not get put off with Bobby Ball acting right in his face while he's trying to say his line.
Have come to lead the revolution.
Hey, we have a revolution every week.
Hey, we had one.
Last week.
Viva revolution!
Yes, yes.
But first, we sing.
About the birds.
Why?
We sing of revolution,
On the birds.
of freedom,
On the birds.
of plenty,
On the birds.
of peace.
A piece.
Thank you for watching. We've still got a great prize up there worth over £1,000. So if you click on that, it's a very unique prize. You can find out more about that. If you're new, do please subscribe to the channel and then hit the notification bell so you know when videos drop. You can hit like if you want to, and also leave a comment below. What do you think? Do you think Adamant was wise to do the Cannon and Ball show, or do you think he ballsed it up by not doing the Morecambe and Wise show? But thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon, my little YouTube rights.
So what's in? Hey? What's up, son? Out of breath? You don't like us young uns?
To the revolution.
Yes, sir!
With 3 Cavalier 3 gay Cavalier no birds of a feather. We're happy amigos, no matter where he goes.
The 1, 2, and 3 goes.